Our first question here is cellular respiration mainly takes place in which organ? Cellular respiration, important questions we are going to discuss here. So cellular respiration mainly takes place in which cell organelle is the mitochondria. It mainly takes place in the mitochondria. The main purpose of cellular respiration is to make ATP energy. So, which of the following is required? Obviously, aerobic respiration, what is required? Oxygen. Which gas is released during cellular respiration? Carbon dioxide is released. Glucose plus oxygen will give you what? Carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. This is the general equation. Glucose plus oxygen will give you water plus energy. This is the general equation. So, question is define cellular respiration. Yeah, read this question answer, Manya. Yeah. So in this, what happens? Cells they will break down glucose to release the energy, as I told you already. In this equation also we discussed. Okay. So cells they break down glucose, and at the end, what is released? Energy. Okay. Read next question, Manya. Question number 8. Where does? I told you already. Where does? In the mitochondria. Why do muscles produce lactic acid during heavy exercise? This is a conceptual question because during heavy exercise time, there is less oxygen available. Okay, there is less oxygen available. So, muscles switch to which type of respiration your muscles will switch to? They will switch to anaerobic respiration, right? They will switch to anaerobic respiration at that time. So, which produces lactic acid. Due to this, lactic acid is produced. So, always keep in mind that during heavy workout or during heavy exercise, your there is less oxygen available. So, your muscles they will switch to anaerobic respiration, which is going to produce the lactic acid, which is going to produce lactic acid. So, our next question is why do muscles produce lactic acid during heavy exercise? So I told you this is the repeated question. What is the reason? Tell me. Hmm. Great. Okay, fine. So next question, write the word equation for aerobic respiration. What is the word equation? Your glucose plus oxygen will give you carbon dioxide plus water. So next question is a student hold her or student held her breath for 40 seconds. This is application based questions, reasoning or application questions. A student held her breath for 40 seconds. Her breathing become faster afterwards. Means first the student held her breath for 40 seconds, then after that her breathing became faster. So explain why. Explain why this is going to happen. Because see, because what is the reason, you can think over it. The CO2 builds up in the body because during the process of respiration, we know that your carbon dioxide plus water plus energy in the form of ATP is released. Whereas, on the other hand, if the student held her breath for 40 seconds, so what I mean to say by here? I mean to say by here that the carbon dioxide that builds in the body, okay, because the student is holding her breath, so due to this carbon dioxide belt builds up in the body when she holds her breath, so the body increases breathing rate. So due to this the breathing rate of the body increases. This is a adaptation of your body, okay, so your breathing rate will increase to remove extra carbon dioxide. So if the breathing rate increases, very interesting, so that means it need more oxygen, because in our equation we discussed glucose plus oxygen will give you carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. So that means the body increases breathing rate to remove carbon dioxide and takes in more oxygen. Manya, you understood concept? Tell me. Okay, note it down. Now we will understand our next question. Plants also require, plants also respire. Plants also respire. Why don't we notice carbon dioxide release during the day? Plants also respire. Why don't we notice carbon dioxide release during the day? Because during the day photosynthesis using, because during the day photosynthesis process is being happening, so in which sunlight is required, in which we know sunlight is required. So because during the day photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide faster than the respiration products. So carbon dioxide, so carbon dioxide is not noticeable because photosynthesis that uses carbon dioxide faster. Because you know that in the photosynthesis carbon dioxide is a raw material, whereas in case of the respiration it is produced as a byproduct. It is produced as a byproduct, so this is the reason behind this. Very interesting that during the day photosynthesis process is being taking place, and photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide faster than the respiration produces it. So this is the reason that carbon dioxide is not noticeable. Understood, Manya? Tell me. Okay, fine. So Manya, next question is, during running your body needs extra energy. How does cellular respiration help? So obviously whenever we are running, so at that time how your body will adjust, it breaks more glucose to produce more ATP. If more glucose is being broken down, this concept is clear to us because already we know that during the process of respiration ATP is produced. So it breaks down more glucose to produce more ATP, giving the muscles extra energy to run. So obviously we know that during the process of cellular respiration energy is produced. During the process of cellular respiration energy is produced. So what happened here actually, it breaks down more glucose to produce more ATP. If more ATP is produced, then try to build the concept that giving the muscles extra energy to run. Understood, Manya? Tell me. Okay. So complete this, then tell me. Our next question is, why is mitochondria called powerhouse of the cell? Because they produce most of the cell's ATP energy during respiration. Why it is called as the powerhouse of the cell? Because they produce ATP. Okay, and ATP is the energy currency of the cell. So they produce most of the cell's energy in the form of ATP during respiration. So due to this reason, mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell, because mitochondria is a cell organelle that produce most of the cell's energy during the process of respiration. So our next question is, in yeast, glucose is converted to alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. So this process in which carbon dioxide plus energy is there, but apart from this alcohol is there. This is in case of yeast, and in case of yeast fermentation occur. In fact, this is a fermentation equation, and fermentation is anaerobic respiration, remember. Okay, so in case of yeast, question can come, alcohol is there, as a product alcohol is there, and also carbon dioxide is there. Obviously respiration equation I'm saying, so energy will be definitely there. right? But this is the equation for anaerobic respiration, or I can say fermentation. And what is the uses? So what are the uses? Making bread, making alcohol, wines and beer. So making bread, alcohol, wines, alcohol and beer. So these are the uses of anaerobic respiration. So complete this, then tell me. So I will show you previous question also. Uses of this fermentation also should be clear. So next is the high thinking answers. So compare aerobic. First is the difference type. Compare aerobic and anaerobic. Any three differences? So first we know. First you understand, then I will give you time to write down. Okay. So aerobic respiration. First we know that it needs oxygen. Anaerobic, it doesn't need oxygen. So obviously oxygen is required, so means produces more ATP. If more ATP, then more energy, or I can say large energy. Anaerobic respiration, less ATP, or I can say less energy is there. What are the end products? I told you carbon dioxide plus water. Again and again we discussed, nothing special. Then anaerobic, lactic acid in animals. I told you that during the conditions of like heavy exercise, okay, so lactic acid is produced, and during that time our body will switch towards the anaerobic during the heavy exercises. So apart from this, alcohol plus carbon dioxide, that was the process of what? Fermentation. That take place in what? That take place in yeast. Any doubts? Tell me, easy. Okay, complete this. Next question is, a plant kept in a dark room for 24 hours survives. Explain. A plant kept in a dark room for 24 hours survives. Explain. So plants, because plant can still respire in the dark using stored glucose, because some stored glucose is there. If you are keeping it in a dark room, so means no photosynthesis is being taking place. First this concept is coming to our mind, because for the process of photosynthesis to occur, your sunlight is required. So what happen if you keep the plant in a dark room for 24 hours? So why it survives? Because plants can still respire in the dark during using stored glucose. So glucose, first concept coming in our mind, photosynthesis. Second concept coming in our mind, that is for the respiration process. We know that the glucose is required. Okay, then energy is released. That is the breakdown of glucose to release the energy, right? So what happened here? Very interesting that plants, they can still respire in the dark using stored glucose. So respiration does not need light. So the plant survives because plant is respiring using stored glucose. So next question is, explain why cellular respiration is essential for all the living organisms. Why? What do you think? Because what is produced here? ATP? ATP. Because it produces ATP energy needed for all the life functions, like whatever it is, whether it is movement, whether it is growth, or it is repair, or it is transport of materials. So it provides ATP energy which is needed for all the life functions like movement, growth, repair, or transport of materials. So this is the reason behind this. Our next question is, explain why ATP is called energy currency of the cell. Because all the cell activities, they use ATP. All the cell activities, they use ATP to pay, as it is the energy currency. Okay, so name itself indicating, because cells, they use ATP to pay all the energy requiring activities, just like money is used for all transactions. We use money for all the transactions that we have to do. We use money for all the transactions that we have to do. In the same way, our cells, they also use ATP. For what? For energy requiring activities. Just like money is used for all the transactions, in the same way. So, next, predict what will happen if all the mitochondria stop. So, what do you think? What will happen? Yeah, because cell will not able to produce energy in the form of ATP. So eventually your cell will die. This is what is happening here. Understood? Tell me. Okay, fine.